This talk is dealing with idea generation. Now, this is a very important topic in the formation of business, the creation of business. It's right at the start of the setup phase for many businesses. It may also apply to established businesses who are looking to innovate a product or innovate a process, and they're looking for ideas. In fact, if we think about it carefully, all progress that's been made in business and in the way we live has come about through the generation of ideas, the adoption of ideas, and it's an important topic because it explains a lot of what's happening in society as well as what's happening in business and commerce. So let's look at some of the ideas behind idea generation. For a start, what are new products? It may sound a straightforward question and somewhat an obvious question, but let's look at what are new products. For a start, there can be improvements and modifications to existing products. So a new product may be an existing product that's been modified and changed. Sometimes it's been changed almost out of recognition, but it's still related to what it was in the past. An example of this would be, let's say, a car. Cars have gone through various upgrades over the years. It's still a car. It still moves us from A to B. But the quality of the car has changed. The facilities of the car have changed. It's now got Bluetooth and it's got radio and satellite navigation, and it's got many facilities built in. It's safer, it's more comfortable, it's more efficient. It's still a car. So it's an existing product which has been modified and which has been improved. It could be additions to existing product lines. Sometimes when companies have a product line, they can see that they have got the capacity to produce an extra product, and there is a niche, perhaps even a small niche, for an additional item which they can slot in. So a new product may come about through thinking about existing products and perhaps feedback from the marketing section who have expert knowledge of what's happening in the field, what's happening amongst the customers, and they can feed back comments and suggestions, and out of the existing range of products a new product can be slotted in. A new product can establish a new market. Sometimes there is no market for the product. It's when the product comes into existence that the new market is generated. There are countless examples of this. In computing, for example, when Apple introduced the iPad, well, there was no market for iPads. They didn't exist. And in a sense, people hadn't thought about it. It was in the realms of science fiction. Now there's an established market for tablets. And many companies produce tablets. Not just Apple, but many other companies produce them. In fact, there are many products that come under this heading. Many innovations, technical innovations, which have become commercial and we have slotted into our daily lives. So the product has created a new market. In computing, it's constantly the case that we're adding new products. Television technology has improved. So there is a demand for 4K and 8K televisions. Well, there wasn't a demand for those a few years ago because they didn't exist. So the new product has created a new market. A product can either adapt or replace an existing product. Sometimes products come into existence which replace older ones. The older ones are obsolete. We no longer want them. They've been upgraded. So a new product comes into existence and replaces perhaps an existing product. many examples. It could be repositioning and placing existing products in new segments of the market. So it may be that products which are sold in one segment of the market can now be sold in a different segment of the market. This can also happen, it could happen geographically, not just by segments. It could happen geographically where a product is sold in one country and then later it's sold in other countries. It's often the case that, for example, back to computing, computing products are first of all introduced in America. Later they're introduced into Europe and Asia and right around the world. But it's as if the first port of call is America. It may be a good thing. It may be that the American buyers are testing the product for bugs, and so that when the rest of us get it, we benefit from their comments and their suggestions. But whatever, the point is that often products are placed in one area and later phased into another. It could be new products come about because of cost reductions. Sometimes companies have to reduce their costs, and in so doing have to change the product. They have to change their product range or a particular product. They may change it so much that it constitutes a new product. It may not have the same functionality as before. It may have an amended functionality, but it becomes a new product as far as we are concerned. So there are different ways in which we can look at new products, and they can come about for a variety of reasons. Now, why companies develop new products? Well, for a start, to extend their product portfolio. It's a way of diversifying risk. If a company has got several products and one of them starts to perform badly in the market, the other products are there to sustain the business, to give the business a chance to perhaps develop yet more products. So some products go through the product life cycle, go into decline, and it's important that the company maintains a flow of new ideas and new products. So it's important to replace declining products with new innovative products to keep customers engaged. It's important that the customers see the business as innovative and up to date and producing quality products that they want. So the product range is not stale, it's not getting out of date, it's not old-fashioned. But it's also important that companies should maintain their competitive advantage, or increase their competitive advantage, or even develop a competitive advantage. Companies by and large have got competitors. Only monopolies don't have competitors. The rest of the commercial world, companies experience competition. And it's important to beat the competition. And one way to beat the competitors is to develop new and attractive products. New products that customers want. And that will give the company, at least for a while, it'll give it the same status as a monopoly because it's got a new product, a product that people want. And therefore, it'll beat the competitors. It'll bring in new customers. New products will attract new customers. People who previously didn't buy from the company will start buying it because it's attractive and because it's fashionable and it's innovative and so on. And it'll develop new markets. As I said with the iPad, there wasn't a market for iPads. And then Apple introduced the iPad, and now there's a market for tablets. Samsung make them, and many other producers make tablets. Not just Apple. But the market has developed as a consequence of that piece of innovation. Now, new product development. Well, a successful organization is one which constantly improves or adds new products to its product line. That's what we mean by success. It's one that the business is growing, the business is innovative, the business is reading the market correctly and introducing products that are appropriate for that state of the market. So customers are happy and content to buy the product, they're interested in the product. The new product development process is important for an organization to succeed. It allows them to concentrate on developing new products and evaluate declining or existing products in the market. So there's a need on the part of business to look at their existing product range to see if the products can be tweaked, if they can be innovated, if they can be modified to bring them up to date, to give them a new lease of life. But also to look at the technology of the business, the expertise of the business, the core competencies of the business, to see if a new product can be introduced, can be developed and introduced. Now this cuts across many areas in business and management education. We could talk here about entrepreneurship and about new product development and the need to have an entrepreneur or an entrepreneurial mind to think of the idea and then carry on to develop it and bring it into existence. We could also talk about innovation. We could talk about research and the importance of research and the types of research that the organization conducts and the types of innovation, the types of changes it brings to play to commercialize the research itself. So if the research comes up with a new product, commercializing it is the innovative part, bringing it to market. So that's a big area, and it overlaps many areas in business and management education. But we'll just introduce it here as new product development and say that it's enabling the business to develop a new product line. We can see it as containing 7 stages. New product development process goes through 7 stages, and this is what many of the textbooks in the area suggest. So 7 stages for new product development. First of all, we have the idea generation. Somebody comes up with an idea. We would classically say this is the entrepreneur. Somebody has an idea, a good idea for a product or a service. So the idea is generated, and it's generated in the mind of someone. It is subjective. This is simply in the mind. Somebody imagines a new product. And then they might talk to their colleagues and screen the idea and think about it. Let it mature in their minds and think more about it. Think of alternatives and think of criticisms. And so what they're doing is they're screening the idea. Having done that, they come up with a concept. And they might actually make a model of what they're talking about or thinking of. They might make a physical model. It may be that type of idea. If it's a service one, they might write it down and draw flow charts and try to imagine what it would entail, what would it involve. So we've moved from the idea screening to this concept, the concept development. What is the product? If it's a physical thing, if it's a physical product, they might try to make a model and try to get it to work and try to see what it would look like and what area of customer need does this address? What's it aimed at? Then it's important to see if it's worthwhile making. Is there a market for it? Will people buy it? How much will they pay for it? How much will it cost to make? Does the technology exist? Can it be done? Is it feasible? Then develop the product. Develop the product so that it's if it's physical, it's tactile. It can be touched. People can look at it and they can walk around it and they can experience it. If it's a service, the idea should be clear to everyone who now reads about it, what the idea is, how it's going to be dealt with, what are the downsides, what are the advantages and disadvantages. So there's a general process here that's being used, a general process that has been used perhaps for previous products, a fairly standard process, one of criticism, one of analysis, one of thinking about the product. But at the moment, at this stage, it still hasn't been developed significantly. It's wise to test it in the market to see what people outside of the organization think about it, see what customers are likely to think about it. So test the product, test the idea, let customers experience it and get their feedback. Perhaps randomly select customers. And the whole process of customer selection may be based on strata selection, or it could be random, or it could be quasi-random, or it could be snowball. It can be any one of the sampling techniques. It may involve the marketing department contacting wholesalers or retailers and asking a wide variety of people what do they think of the product or of the particular suggestion. If all goes well, launch the product. The new product has come into existence. It started in someone's head, started as an idea, and now it's become a product in the market. The idea generation, this is the most important stage of production development. New products ideas come from a number of sources. They can come from, a new idea could come from research and development. It could be an accident in a laboratory, or an accident in some sort of research and development facility. Many ideas, many things we use have come about through accidental discovery. New ideas might come from employees. Sometimes employees looking at the process think, if only a product existed that would do the following, it would be a good idea. There's perhaps the idea has been generated by the employee. It can come from customers. Customers making feedback saying, this product is very good, however, it would be really nice if it could do the following. And that could be the start of the idea. Distributors and suppliers may also come back with ideas. Sometimes the distributors or the suppliers say it's a really good idea, but it's too big, or it's too small, or it's the wrong color, or it's the wrong shape, or extra functionality could be given to it if it could do the following. Again, valuable feedback. Competitors might make contributions in the sense that they're working on a particular product, they have launched perhaps a new product, and the company looking at the new product from the competitors think, well, that could be further developed. That idea could be further developed, it can be modified, and new functionality added to it. So the competitors may be the originators of the idea that's subsequently developed. Now, idea screening, well, here this is the process that involves considering different ideas and selecting an appropriate product. Sometimes people have many ideas. Now it's important to screen them to see which one should the company deal with. The company can't deal with all of them. There are too many ideas. Let's just focus in on one. So it's a screening process. The idea is then analysed for feasibility to see if it can be done, and also financial viability and marketability. There's no point in making a product if they think they're not going to make money out of it, if it's not going to be viable. So factors such as demand, profit, the marketing approach needed, and all sorts of issues need to be considered. So it's not just a question of selecting a good idea, but the good idea should be commercial. An organization can consider the following questions. Does the product provide the customers with some sort of core benefit? Is this product important to the customers, or is it just some product that will go onto the shelf and might sell or it might not? Is it something that customers would want to buy? Does it attract customers? Does it give them some sort of core benefit? Would enough profit be generated from the product to cover costs? Is it commercial? I mean, look at the product critically. Look at the production costs. Look at the raw materials and the distribution and the marketing that's required and the whole effort to get this product to market. Will it cover costs? And how does the product fit with the company image? If the product is radically different to what the company normally does, then it may change the company image. Customers may look at the company differently. In fact, customers may think this company does not have a reputation for making products like this, therefore I'm not going to buy it because this company does not have core competencies or expertise in this particular area. So why are they making this particular product? This product represents too big a departure for them. And so customers are put off. What's the predicted life cycle of the product? How long will the product last? How many years will this product be in production? Anticipated. Look at similar products or products that are related and see how long they've lasted and what are the ups and downsides associated with producing and marketing those products. And what are the current market and competitive conditions? So look at what the competitors are doing. Look at what the conditions in the market are and see if there's room for this product. See if customers would want it. And does the company have the resources necessary to produce the product? Does it have the capacity? Does it have the capability? Does it have slack in its own system? Given it's producing other products, can it now switch over to dedicating some resources to the production of this new product? How should it be produced? Should it be outsourced? Should it be produced in-house? What new equipment? What new personnel? What new training schemes? Does it fit in with the existing product line, or is it totally new? Now, I've just picked a couple of the ideas in our original list. If you remember back in the session, we talked about that list. We've got as far as the screening process. So there are more videos to come dealing with product development, business analysis, and so on. But I'm going to leave this video where it is at the moment. I don't want to make it too long. So let's just leave this video where it is and come back to those other topics later with separate videos. But I suggest strongly that you sort out and find out where those other videos are. They're in the same product, the same video code system. Look at those and make your own notes and think strongly about how new products come into existence and what are the issues. That's all I'm going to deal with in this session. I'm going to leave it at that and say thank you for watching.